Hi, my name's Christopher, and initially I started to do some work with Elaine, in terms of life coaching, and then it kind of progressed to business coaching. But primarily, I began a journey of discovery, um, delving into my childhood trauma, and trying to unravel that so that I could go forward in my life. And matching that up with the business coaching, I was starting a business of my own. I had already started it all. Everything was underway. But there was about a 2 year period where it was all about building the business up. And when I say building it up, I mean getting to the point where I could legally manufacture the specific product that I was trying to, sell. And that was perfume. So during this process, there was a lot of, planning things out in your head, things to do with the business, things to do with the legal side of things. But what I hadn't been doing was preparing for the marketing, preparing for the promotion, preparing for the sales side of things. And if I'm honest, I would say I probably lacked the skills in that department. And what I learned was the reason why I lacked skills in that department was all to do with the trauma that I have in my past. And that kind of funnels into low self-esteem, low self-worth, that kind of thing, which isn't going to propel you forward in a business. It isn't going to make a success of yourself in a business, or even just holding down a job, or everything else to do with a normal life. Generally just looking after yourself. So yeah, with Elaine, I was able to connect these dots, starting with coaching with regards to past trauma, and then leading that into being as successful as I can be in my business, being proactive, being effective, and having the right mindset, because I guess ultimately that was what I lacked. I had a bad mindset, and you need a good mindset for life. You definitely need a good mindset for business. What I wanted to achieve was a good mindset. It's something I've struggled with my whole life. I have always been a negative thinker. I think I had lots of reasons to be negative, but perhaps I just really honed in on that, felt sorry for myself, procrastinated, spent a lot of my life, most of my life, feeling sorry for myself, not liking life, not doing anything about it, kind of waiting for somebody to do something for me. And I could kick myself now, because it's just not how life works. It doesn't matter what cards life deals you with. If you want a better life, it's only up to you. Nobody's going to make it better for you. Nobody's going to change for you. Nobody's going to take you to where you need to go. You have to take yourself. And if you want to be a certain type of person, then you have to understand that you have to become that person. You can't just suddenly be that person. So there are steps to take, and there is work to do. And I guess in my naivety, I kind of just sat on the back fence and expected it to happen to me. But it's took a long time for me to realize that actually it doesn't matter how hard life is. It doesn't matter what happens to you when you're a kid. It doesn't matter what trauma you go through. No one's gonna help you. No one's gonna help you change. Nobody's gonna change for you. But yeah, with Elaine, I definitely got some help with changing my mindset, and just by doing that, it kind of makes you more functional, makes you more effective, and you can lead your own life, and you don't really need a crutch anymore. So I've seen a lot of improvements in myself, definitely with the mindset, as I've covered now. Um, Definitely with my positivity. I don't really feel like there's much negativity there. Obviously, we're all human. It creeps in every now and then, but it doesn't hang around. It doesn't linger anymore. I feel like I'm in the best place that I can be for my business. I've got confidence oozing out of myself. I recognize where my skills are, where my talents are, and I can see where I need help in other areas, and that's completely fine. I think I've really learned to play on my strengths, but also to seek help with my weaknesses, and it makes me a better person. I think accountability is really important. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with the people around you. You have to be honest with your family. I think coaching it's an alternative route to therapy. If you go to a psychologist or a counselor, it's definitely one way to go. I think coaching is a completely different approach. And I'll be honest, in my life, I've spoke to a lot of counselors and psychologists, and I haven't really found that I've gotten very far in terms of pushing through something, or making some new ground. Not that I'm saying that that's not the route to take. I'm just saying that I think for me, coaching was the it was different enough for it to hit a nerve that never got hit when I was speaking with counselors or psychologists. I think it's got a lot to do with the down-to-earthness of coaching, because it comes from a different space and it comes more from the heart, and there's less of the mind there, and you feel more like you're on an equal level with somebody. It's just a different approach. I think it was the best approach for me. I sort of felt more comfortable, and Elaine has a cheery disposition. She's doesn't come across as being judgmental, and she certainly, that she doesn't come across as having some kind of superiority. So I think that always helps in these situations, because when you're in a vulnerable place and you feel vulnerable, you want to feel as comfortable as you can, as quickly as you can, and I feel like Elaine puts you at ease straight away. So yeah, it was really beneficial for me, really comfortable. I was able to be myself and get to the truth. I think other people should work with Elaine if, well, for any reason, but if you've already went down the route of talking to counsellors, talking to psychologists, and you don't really feel like it worked, perhaps coaching is the way to go. Maybe you need to feel a certain way before you can actually get to the nitty-gritty, and you can get to the truth, and you can go forward. I think that there are two different approaches, and I do think both help. And maybe you know that you need some help, but you don't want to go to a psychologist or a counsellor, then I would suggest talking to Elaine, because it's just like talking to somebody. It's not really any more than that. There is no officialdom there. There's no ego. It's just a chat, and for me, I find that more beneficial. So I think that if you're having any kind of problems with trauma, or any kind of problems with your business life, if you need some business coaching, because they're all related. If you want to have a successful business, if you want to be all that you can be, you need to have your family in order, so to speak. You need to have your affairs in order. You need to have a sound mind. You need to have a good mindset. You need to have everything in the right place. You need balance, because let's face it, the more responsibility that you take on, the less time that you have. And if you've got a family as well, you have to look after them. You have to look after your own mental health, and you have to run a business. You have to keep up with demand from your family, from your business. It's hard, isn't it? Life, it's very hard, and we have to stretch ourselves. And I think we could all do with talking to someone every now and then. We don't always have somebody to talk to. We don't always have the right ears to listen to us, or the right hearts. So I would recommend talking to Elaine if you just feel like you need a bit of guidance, a bit of help, or you just feel like chatting to somebody. I really do believe that it will do you some good.